Good morning, TikTok and my beautiful people. How is everybody today? We are talking about plant care tips for your indoor houseplants. So come on in, let's talk about it. Let's get your urban jungle straight. Do you have one plant? Do you have 5 plants? Dare I say 20 to 30 plants? Let me know how many plants you've got. Drop that down in the chat. We're here to talk about plant care tips. So come on in, ask your questions, give me a follow, like and love all the things here in the greenhouse. I have a greenhouse of over 600 plants. I can give you all the plant care tips you could possibly ever want, more than your brain can handle. I know it's more than mine, that's why it oozes out my mouth. Good morning, Skylight, my friend. How is you this morning? Get this guy put back in a plant here. My little bit of Mardi Gras decor going on. Can't see much of it. My big old noodle blocks most of it. Thank you for coming in, my friend. Thank you for being a part of today's live about plant care tips is what we're talking about here, TikTok. Plant care tips. So TikTok, send me all the planty people. I'm calling in all the planty people. If you're a plant mom, plant dad, you just need one. Just one plant makes you a plant parent, all right? One child makes you a parent. One dog makes you a parent. One plant. The fairy lights are on. You can kind of see them right up here. But they are on. I always turn them on now for you, J-Light, every day. And matter of fact, because I turned them on this morning, I smashed my head on the sink over here. That wasn't fun. I'll be all right. I'm sure it'll just push some brain cells around that weren't in the right place to begin with. It'll be okay. No headache, so all is good. It is the hazards of working in the greenhouse. Plants attack you, sinks up out of nowhere. I mean, it is what it is. But we're here today talking about plant care tips for your indoor plants. Those house plants, they need love too, just like you, my friend. You know, plants thrive off of light and water. If you think about it, so do we. We survive off of light, which is food for us. All right? Our equivalent is food. Theirs is light. That is food to them. And then throw in some water. We all need some water. Our bodies are made of water. Our plants are predominantly storing water. So we're all simpatico, my friends. So come on in. Join us in the greenhouse of 600 plants talking about plant care tips. Posted a quick video. Someone had asked me to see the Mardi Gras tree. So the Mardi Gras tree is now available over in content for you guys to check out. Hey, Duck Hunt, how are you, my friend? Welcome in. Thank you all for coming in. Did I see Charlene sneak into the room? I did. Good morning, Charlene. How are you, my friend? We've got the Mardi Gras video of the Mardi Gras trees over there. You can see some of the beads that are in the tree. They tend to turn color, like, they'll be really pretty after the party, and we'll have lots of color. And then as the year goes on, the sun, and I'm going to say it's the sun mostly, bleaches all the dye off of those beads, and they all look silver by the time the next year rolls around, which is fun because then we add more beads to it every year. So yeah, we do a big party here at Flourish for Mardi Gras, and as far as I know, we're the only one in my area that has an actual Mardi Gras tree, is what we call it. It's got all the beads in it. So check it out. Go over there, give it some love. Share it with your friends. Say, look at this crazy lady. Oh, thank you for the first crane of the day. Thank you you so much for working on those tippy taps. We got 500 of them going. Our goal is to get 10,000 in 10 minutes. That is our goal while we discuss plant care tips. So we're gonna get started here in just a hot second. I'm cleaning up some space. Got all the plant jewelry out of the snake plant last night because I was working on some content for you all. I'm sure you all will appreciate it. Whenever I freaking finish it, because I never get it done the same day I shoot it for some dumb reason, or it gets lost in the sauce in my phone and it never gets posted. You know, I'm doing better. I'm planning. Every day has a plan. Before I go to bed, I make a schedule of what needs to get done. So I am holding true to my word of the year, which is plan. Plan, plan, plan some more. I guess I should have maybe been a little more detailed with my word of the year. I am planning, but I guess I'm not executing. So maybe I'll have to add another second word, and that means execute the plan. You can plan all day long, but if you don't execute it, what did you do? What did you accomplish? What did you get done? I mean, seriously, Sarah Lynn, seriously. Goodness gracious, everybody. So come on in, let's rock this thing early in the morning, because that is what we do here in the greenhouse. We talk about plant care details, we have some laughs, we have some fun, all the things. I have, hey Maria, how are you, my friend? Thank you for liking the live, my friends. I appreciate that, and watching those numbers climb. That's awesome. I'm gonna get the soldering gun out this morning, if I can. Ooh, seems to be tangled. I don't know why it's tangled. I just untangled all these cords. And unless the frog is moving stuff, nothing should be tangled. Good morning, my friend. Good morning. I appreciate you coming in and sharing your morning with me. We are just getting started. So let's put some love up on that screen. Let's have some fun together while I sit here and wonder why my thing is all tangled up. How many of you have a wish list plant already? Like, I am getting this plant this year. Good morning, Coach V. Good morning. We're getting the soldering gun ready this morning. We're gonna take care of some plants that had a customer bring over, and she's like, I made a boo-boo. And I'm like, what'd you do? And I'm looking at it and I'm like, everything looks healthy. She goes, no. I planted them in there in a haste, in a hurry. I didn't give it no drainage holes, and I don't know what to do now. And I'm like, well, we got a couple options, but my favorite option is just put drainage holes in. So yeah, that's what we are doing. TikTok is being TikTok this morning. So, Coach V, when your temperatures get above 32 degrees at night, which I know will be a little bit of time, you are in Michigan, you gotta let me know, because I'm gonna send you your plumeria. All right, I'm gonna get it out to you. You're gonna have to root it, and I know you can do it. I'll give you instructions. All right. And I'll give you all the tips and tricks. You know that. So, but you're gonna grow this baby from jump, and I know you can do it. So yes. So here's what they brought me. All right. They brought me a whole bunch of cactuses in an ice cream container. No drainage. Let's fix it. All right. We're gonna fix it with the plants in it. We're gonna hope she hasn't watered it. It looks fairly wet down there. That has me slightly concerned. But if we spring a leak, I got my water thing right here. And all you're gonna do with your soldering gun is take it and poke it right in there after it's heated up. We've got it heated to 570 degrees. And we're just gonna stick it on in there and create that drainage that cactuses so desperately need. They cannot sit in water. They will rot and unalive themselves faster than you can change your underwear, folks. I mean, it is unbelievable. But yep, get some drainage in there. Too many is not enough when it comes to cactuses, for sure. And if you give them a little twist, it makes it a little bit bigger. So you can get different sizes, which is very important. So there we go. Problem solved. She was going to uproot these guys, put them in a whole new pot. Good morning, Nan. How are you? Good morning, Lynn. Lynn, I believe it was you, my friend, that asked for pictures or wanted to see the Mardi Gras tree that we have here in the yard. Thank you, Coach V. I appreciate you so very much. So, hello, Loki. How are you, friend? You asked for pictures of the Mardi Gras tree, or you wanted to see the Mardi Gras tree, and the day you asked me, it was very gloomy. And I could have opened the greenhouse door and you could have seen, ooh, got the caterpillar. Wake up, little caterpillar. Keep flourishing, little caterpillar. Keep flourishing. Thank you, Coach V. I love that little caterpillar. He's so cute. And it was gloomy that day, so I didn't open up the greenhouse door and just show you from across the yard. I went out there, I created a little content for you, so you should be able to see that over there. I posted it just this morning, so it's right there. It should be the very first video for you to check out. But we have a cactus that a client brought over to me that is planted in an ice cream container. So, great way to use all those plastic containers instead of them hogging up your captain. She needed a greenhouse. Yeah. And we just poked some holes in it this morning with the soldering gun. Is all we did. Love this tool. It is, if you are a plant parent and you want to turn things that are not made for plants into something for plants, this is going to be your saving grace. But if you have like ceramic stuff, like pots and like teacups and coffee cups and teapots and all that kind of stuff like that, you're gonna need diamond bit drill bits. All right. Let's see. So keep that stuff in mind, that these are great tools that you use. I don't recommend a whole lot of actual gadgets or tools, y'all, but soldering gun I definitely recommend having if you're a big plant parent who wants to reuse things and not put everything back in the landfills. That helps tremendously. Number two, the diamond bit drill bit. Keep that bugger wet. I created a video. You guys can watch the whole process, how to put a hole into like a coffee cup. If you have a beloved coffee cup and you snap that handle off, you don't want to get rid of it, put a plant in it. What a better way to do that, to keep it and have it around forever. My daughter made me a coffee cup. I don't even drink coffee. I drink my tea, y'all. And I just don't have the room in the cabinet. So instead of getting rid of it, I put a hole in it. And now I got it here for all my plants. J-Light, yes, a soldering iron like this is different than a heat gun. A heat gun looks more like a hair dryer, and it emits the heat, like air, all right? Heated air, all right? Good morning, Sandra Roma. Could you give me a follow, my friend, and then we can look at your question that you've put down there. If you guys have questions, throw them down into the chat. My moderators know that if you've grabbed your daily heart up there, they will get you on the pin so that I don't miss your comment. But the bigger thing is, you gotta follow first to get to the heart. So go ahead and do that. Good morning, April. When'd you slide on in here? Not only I do plant care advice and tips and tricks here on TikTok 6 days a week. Saturday is our like one day off that we have, but usually ends up being a pop-up anyway. All right, you guys, 16 gifters. Here we go with that daily heart me. TikTok is not being nice today. They want 16 heart me's. Come on, bring the people in then, TikTok. If you want me to get 16 of these guys, send me the plenty people, TikTok. All right, so here we go. Thank you, ladies, for holding off on those. You guys know TikTok oh so well and are saving them when you come in to wait for that. Coach V, 200 comments. Wow, that's amazing. So yes, come on in, everybody. We're talking planty tips. I have a little friend here that I want to talk to you guys about. How many of you have alocasias on your plant bingo card? Yep, strategy. Always a strategy. Everything needs a strategy, it seems. Yep, totally. Have you ever, how many of you have an alocasia already in your plant collection? How many of you have that in your, hey mommy, how are you doing? Welcome in. This is an Alocasia Polly. An Alocasia Polly. You have 2 on the struggle bus. Well, hopefully not no more. They can be finicky little, they can be the Karens of the world, of the plant world, to some people. These guys are not for the faint of heart, let me tell you. They can be beautiful today and tomorrow look like they are knocking on the door to planty heaven. They are kind of cray-cray that way. And it's bizarre that they're like that, but they are. But here's the tips and tricks that you guys need to know about, all right? Mine was not strong enough for your care. I feel you, Mama Joe. I love it. I feel you, my friend. For sure, for sure. All right, so when it comes to alocasias, they love humidity. But if you've been in the greenhouse more than a day or so, you know my stance on humidifiers. These guys are the reason why a lot of people put humidifiers in their homes. I don't recommend that whatsoever. I do highly recommend having a humidity tray for your alocasias, all right? Humidity trays are very cheap and easy. Thank you for that rose hand, my friend. Fried tips usually mean that you have low humidity, all right? On just about every plant, just about. That's usually where you can start. Good morning, Regina. How are you, my friend? So we're talking about the Alocasia Polly. I love the shine on these guys. I did not put anything on it. This is all natural, my friends. Don't you wish you were so shiny and just so bold every day? You know, these guys are. When they show up, they show off. Knocking on heaven's door. Yes, that is Maria. My Gen Xers in the room. Yes, who's saying it? Go for it. Let's hear it. See if you can stump the music major. All right, I know who it is, but I want to see if you know. No Googling allowed. Good morning, Renee. So the Alocasia Polly, and this guy's got new growth down here. All right. When they are looking for the sun, that's where you're going to see majority of the growth. See how these are all faced this way? The sun is there. There you go, Sherry. Way to go, my friend. Little GNR in the morning always gets you up and moving. Hey, Becca, welcome in. Welcome in. So when they are all facing one direction, that's where their sun is. So be mindful if yours are kind of all facing one direction, because look, definitely has a back. That side is not getting enough light to create growth. Alocasias grow from corms. So if you are getting ready this spring to repot your alocasias, don't throw the dirt out right away. All right, corms are like bulbs. These guys can create up to 70 per plant. That means this one plant has 70 babies living down there that you can pull out, put in other pots, watch them grow from corm state to new pots, and look at that. With one plant, you could have your own jungle of the same plant over and over and over again. All right, so check it out. If they, dang, they're so productive. They are like bunnies. You could have 70. Now, to be honest, I have never had 70 in mine, but they can produce up to 70 per plant. Usually I average somewhere between like 12 and 20, but that's still a lot for one plant to give you 12 or 20 more. That's still a lot. Hey, MK, how are you? You guys, we got the flash goal going on up here, so throw in your dailies for me. That would be great, so we can crush that and get that out of the way. Even if you're just cruising on by in the TikTok streets, come on in. We've got like 11 more of them that we need, so come on in. MK, I sent you a message, my friend. Let me know if you got it. Send me a little something back if you got it. Renee, welcome in. Charlene, welcome in. Sandy is in the house. April showers. Do you bring May flowers, my friend? I'm just kidding. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. That's probably a bad joke, and you probably hear it everywhere, but I couldn't resist in the greenhouse. So, welcome in, everybody. We've got the daily, the flash goal going up there. It is the daily heart me. If you can toss it my way, I would appreciate it. Let's crush the goal and move on with our days, shall we? I love to crush goals. Let's get this first one of the day done. All right, so we're talking about Alocasia Polly. March winds and April showers bring May flowers. Yes, ma'am. Love it. Yes, ma'am. Thank you for the love you so much. Thank you for the follow, Patty. Thank you. Patty Welch, I should say. So Alocasia Pollies can be the very Karen of the plant world, and they love indirect views of the sky. Get down to that plant level. Janine, thank you, my friend. I didn't put out an SOS, so I don't know who's on this morning to put out the SOS to. Thank you, April showers. Thank you, you guys. We're over halfway done. Keep it going. All right, so they like an indirect view of the sky. Remember, you're probably taller than me. Janine reached level 16. Congratulations, my friend. Being that you're probably taller than me, I'm 5'2". Yeah, I know. TikTok makes me look taller and probably slimmer too. I kid. All right, so these guys want an indirect view of the sky, which means you can't stand at the window and say, well, this is what it sees, because it's not 5'2", my friends. What is that little thing? Thank you for the Rosa, a mermaid. Ooh, how cool is that? So get down to the leaf level. If you set it on your table and you're looking at the window, what do you see? Do you see a little bit of sky? Do you see the whole sky? Do you have a tree in the way? Do you have an overhang on your house? Maybe you have an awning. Rosa, thank you for the daily. Thank you, my friend Janine. Look at all those mermaids swimming around down there. I'll just put them in the koi pond, okay? My husband will love it. He's obsessed with mermaids and what are those other things? Thank you for the club power. What are those other things that are supposed to be the mermaids of the sea? Manatees. Manatees. He's obsessed with those things. So yes. That one needs sun from indirect view. Think about it. In the jungles where these grow, all right, they are at the bottom of the forest floor, all right? So they're just gonna get that dappled light that comes through the canopy, okay? Yes, this is an Alocasia Polly, all right? They're not for the faint of heart in my experience, but with a little plant care tips and knowledge, you can confidently grow these bad boys, all right? And they are fairly easy in my world, all right? What? Oh my goodness. Isn't he cute, that little rose bear? Thank you, benevolent. Thank you. Thank you, thank you. Indirect view of the sky is what these guys want. So get to their level. What do they see when they are looking out your window? If they see the whole sky, back that up, all right? Back that arse up, all right? They want to see an indirect view of the sky, all right? Now sky, not sun, sky, my friends, all right? Be mindful of the word sky versus sun, okay? Yes, it is. It is a fun crowd today. I'm loving it. Great way to start off. What is today? Thursday? Goodness, the week has like disappeared. But I think that's what they've meant my whole life. They always said, do something that you love and you'll never feel like you work a day in your life. Found it. Yep, that's me. Where to get one of these bad boys? Right over there. Right over there, my friend. Right there. It's Flourish Plant Care, punctuation mark, C-O-M, all right? So that's where you can get that this cute little baddie, all right? Oops, I didn't do something. Let me take care of that. Bad girl. All right. We need 5 more dailies up there to crush that flash goal. You guys are rocking it out this morning. We have under 4 minutes to complete it. So if you can toss that 1 coin over this way, I greatly appreciate it. Thank you, Gracefully Fit. Hey, Janine. How you doing, friend? Thank you for coming in on your backup. I appreciate you. Ooh, speaking of backups, let me throw it in with my backup, you know? Adele, how are you? So Alocasia Pollys, they like that indirect view of the sky. If you have a window that's facing a building, a tree, anything that's going to just kind of block some of that sunlight, that's where they want to be. This is, hi, Angela Dickerson. I went to school with an Angela Dickerson. Was it you? Are you from Northeast Wisconsin? Anyway, think about, you're trying to recreate their natural environment, the tropical rainforest, all right? They live on the bottom of the rainforest. They're getting that dappled light through the tree canopy. They love humidity. Stop right there. Do not go and buy a humidifier, all right? Create a humidity tray, all right? Humidity trays are very easy to make. Mississippi, that's all right. I still love you. It's okay. I have one and all the leaves currently dried out. So this is a paper organizer for your desk. All right. So it's 8.5 by 11. You put this, depends on how it is. All right. How gone it is. All right. But there are probably corms in your soil and you can definitely bring those back because they haven't bloomed yet. So this is 8.5 by 11 tray, all right? And I just picked the clear one because I think it's aesthetically pleasing to be on a desk and to be in the greenhouse, all right? Put stones on the bottom here. I don't care if you use some river rock or go get you some cheap aquarium stone. Pick a color that works for the room that you're in. Add to the ambiance, all right? Thin layer on the bottom of your tray, okay? You can also, my northern people, my Michiganders, my Midwesterners, my Northeast people. How many of you have these by your front door? Or by the door that you use to go to maybe the garage or whatever? You got a boot tray laying around. All right? Very durable. Nice high sides on them. No rocks needed. Why? Because they have these little ridges in there. This is a great thing to use. Yeah, maybe my Texas people, my southern people with your cowboy boots and all. You're taking them bad boys off and not tracking the dirt through the house. Put water in your boot tray just so it comes over the little ridge. All right? Just so it's just coming over the little ridge. Now, take all of your plants that need the higher humidity, set them on top. See how it's not going to be sitting, it's not going to be sitting in water, absorbing it all. It's just going to maybe have a little nip at the bottom. All right, hang on, we'll get there, Sherry. I got you, friend. I'm near there. I'm not in there, Holly. I do the farmers markets in that town, yes. So you're going to set all of your plants on the humidity tray that need that higher humidity, all right? One, by grouping plants together, you increase their humidity, all right? They create natural humidity when grouped close together. So get them together and say, let's have a party, let's get tight, let's get cozy, all right? That's the first thing, all right? Then with the water that you have down here, it's creating natural humidity. It'll actually help your home out if you feel it's dry. It's not going to do it as quick as a humidifier would do it, but it's not going to cause the damage a humidifier can cause to your home. Costly damage, hundreds and thousands of dollars of damage humidifiers can do to your home, okay? I'm going to try and knock it on my soapbox, but I feel it coming, all right? So put them on here, put them all together. You've increased it little by little, all right? I don't know when they start. I haven't seen anything come out yet, all right? So that's an easy way to do the boot tray, humidity tray, and you do the same thing with a plate, a saucer, a paper organizer for your desk. Whatever you have that has a little bit of edge, give it something for the water to sit in. Have it come just over the top of whatever that is and place your plants on top of it. That's a humidity tray. Very easy, very cost effective. Use what you have in your home already, all right? Yes, it is a poly that we're talking about today. We are, hang on, trying to deal with some people's, nope, not what I want to do. Nope. All right, I can't do it. Anyway, all right, moving on. So with your Alocasia Polly's, they need that little boost of humidity, all right? 30 to 40% is where the average home has for their humidity in their house majority of the year. You might have be a little more on the 30, maybe high 20 side this time of year, and you definitely will go up in the summer months. The goal has ended and we missed it. We missed it by one, y'all. By one. But thank you everybody who helped and threw their daily into the pile. I appreciate all of you. Thank you. We were so close. Just one away. Anyway, I digress. Humidity, indirect view of the sky. All right. So now let's talk water. These guys like water, but not a ton of water. If you think about it, plant storage or water storage, there's plenty. These guys have very thick stems. Even the babies have thick stems, all right? Pretty thick. Their leaves aren't super thin, but they're not super plumpy thick either. But they are big, so that's all water storage too. So, see how my soil is down a little bit? It's not right at the top. I'm going to start my measurement here at this ridge. That is now where my top is for my plant. 25% down in the summer, 50% down in the winter. If you're going, wait, woman, I can't remember all this, I'll tell you how to remember all that too. With the humidity trays, you're not going to get fungus gnats. They like dark areas. You're not watering your plant with a humidity tray, all right? Humidity trays are not for watering your plant. They're for providing humidity. Now you can use them for butt chugging when it is time and then let it reduce down so that there's barely any water touching the bottom of your pot. But that's not what they're for, and they don't create that environment because you're gonna let this top part dry out. All right, so 25% dry in the summer, 50% dry in the winter. So I would say 50% of the pot's probably about there. Hey, gas station fairy, how you doing, friend? So 50%, we're gonna stick the stick in till the fingers hit the soil, pull it out. As you look, there is soil on there. So that means this guy has water, moisture further down. Doesn't need water today. In 3 days, I will check it again and make sure if it needs water, I'm going to give it water. If it doesn't, I'm going to wait another 3 days. That's just how you roll. Now, hey Jake, how you doing, friend? Welcome in. If you forget in 3 days, it's okay. It's better for plants to be more dry than more wet. All right? More dry, you can add water. It's really hard to take the water away once you give it. All right? It's not impossible, but it's not as easy of a task. Hydrometers, I don't recommend, for the simple fact that usually it's operator error and you get false readings. All right? So use a stick. Kind of hard to flub this technology up. I mean, I don't know about you, but you know, it just works better than the techie stuff. You don't have to plug it in. You don't have to update it. You don't got to buy a subscription. Just use a stick, my friend. I can't listen. The more I know, the worse my plants get. They like my abuse and neglect. You know, some plants really do thrive on abuse and neglect, but if you walk over and go, I think it's time to water you, and it's not time to water you, abuse them longer. Is basically what you're doing, right? Jack, exactly. It's the same as checking a cake to see if it's ready. If there's soil on there, it has moisture. If it has batter on there, it's moisture. You're going to let it bake. You're going to let it bake in the oven or bake it in the sun. Just depends on what you're doing. If it's a cake or a plant, my friend. So you can do that. All right. Your alocasias, though, if you are having problems with your alocasia and it seems to unalive itself, please don't throw it away. Go through that soil. There's probably corms down there. Corms are like bulbs for alocasias. They can give you up to 50 corms. Don't be surprised if you only have a few. A lot of them will dehydrate themselves and you can't find them. All right. Sure, I can get on my soapbox for humidifiers. I most certainly can, user. If you guys are asking questions down in the chat, can you do me a favor, please, and go up there and give me a follow. And then while you're up there, grab that daily too and toss that out here. It's just 1 coin, and you can be rooted into the greenhouse. My mods in the room are looking for that root to be next to your name to pin you. Xavier, thank you so much for setting the example. Relax. We relax very well here in the greenhouse. Jake got level 4. Way to go, my friend. So go through the dirt. Adele, thank you. So beautiful. Go through the dirt and make sure you don't have any corms in there, all right? Those you can definitely grow, all right? You can grow them from the corm state, bulb state, all right? And you can enjoy them. First one may not have succeeded. It may not have had your same planty vibe, but now you have a little more information and you can use those corms. And try it again. And it didn't cost you a dime, my friends. All right, so someone asked about humidifiers. Let me tell you this. Humidifiers are great for medicinal purposes, all right? You got the cough, helps put some humidity in the air. You got bloody noses, whatever, okay? It helps for those things. But most of us use it for a very short window of time or just when we're in the room. We got these planty people, and I'm not like throwing shade or anything, but I'm just kind of narrowing who I'm talking to, all right? Any tips for healthy pothos? Oh, pothos. Yes, Saba, I will get to you in just a minute, my friend. Stick around, okay? We can talk about pothos next. When you put a humidifier in your home and you create so much humidity that you have like a fog going through your room, plants are going to love you. Yes, they're going to flourish because that's what they want. But let's talk about the other things that are not happy with that level of humidity, okay? It is going to be your carpet, your hardwood floors, your walls, your window treatments, your paint, your insulation, your drywall. Those things sound costly to you. They're costly to me to replace because now you have just put Coach V leveling up to 16. You have just put black mold into all of those places with the increased humidity, all right? Bye, friend. Love you. Miss you. Talk soon. Thank you for your daily, my friend, Nana Bear. When you put black mold in all them things, it's very hard to get rid of it once it's there. It spreads like wildfire. It causes respiratory issues, not only for the people in your home, it causes respiratory issues for your four-legged friends and even your feathered friends too. The thinned ones, they aren't bothered so much by it, if you know what I mean. But it can cause more problems than it's worth, all right? Your plants should not cause you remodeling damage to your home. So keep that in mind. If you want to use it for a day or two, fine. But please don't use it for long periods of time, and clean it. It's got to be cleaned daily. Follow the instructions on how to clean them. Please don't use bleach in them, because once you put bleach in them to clean them, you're now spreading bleach throughout your home, another respiratory issue for you and your pets, all right? That's my spiel on humidifiers. Hopefully that resonates with you and you kind of understand why I want to just caution you on using them, all right? All right, so keep that in mind. With Grace and Grain, I'm going to get to your olive tree question here in just a second, but someone had asked me just before you about a pothos. So I'm going to grab my one here that's hanging from the rafters, all right? And I have, you see it all strung up behind me here, I have two pothos back there, and they're over 40 feet long in all their vining. All right, so a healthy pothos needs an indirect view of the sky, number one. Number two, if your pothos is looking kind of bald, like you got no leaves, like all these leaves would be gone and you just have a vine and maybe you got a leaf here and a leaf here, that means this section in between wasn't getting enough light to warrant a leaf, all right? When you get a leaf, that means you have great lighting. But did you know, many people love to have these dangle and trail all over the place. But if you trellis it up, you don't have to do all the vines, do a few. Give it a little height in the front or a little height in the back of your pot. And those leaves will be way bigger than the ones that are hangling and dangling around, all right? They will be huge. I don't think I have any right here that I can show you. But yes, definitely will make them bigger. When plants feel supported, they get bigger. Grandma Willie, welcome in, my friend. If you all don't know who Grandma Willie is, go be blessed by her presence. She is a live host here on TikTok, and she is phenomenal. I enjoy sitting with her. I feel like I'm sitting with my own grandma, who unfortunately is no longer with us, and I miss her, but Grandma Willie kind of fills that void for being with Grandma and giving you all the only that advice a grandma can give you in a way that just hits your heart the right way. So Grandma Willie, thank you for blessing us with your time and your great advice, from cooking to everything else that she does. I appreciate you, Grandma Willie. Thank you so much. Scoop her up, my friends. Make sure you grab Grandma Willie down there and love on her, all right? So actually, I found Grandma Willie because of Coach V, who was just here. Coach V speaks very highly of her, so I had to check her out. So that's just how this goes. Pothos are good for, what are they called? The lights that everybody has in their offices. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Yes. So they do release their own hormones, so keep them around for that purpose if you are propagating things. And the big trick with these guys and the rooting hormone that they release is don't throw that water away. Use that water fluorescent. Thank you, gas station fairy. I was thinking like incandescent. I'm like, that ain't it. Hi, Strawberry. Welcome in, friend. So yes, that is, they're great for that. trellis them up, they will get bigger, all right? So water them when they are 25% dry, 50%, 25% in the summer, 50% in the winter, all right? That less light, they can't process the water, all right? They need the calories from the sun to process it, all right? But they will continue to grow all year round. They really kind of don't have a dormancy period. Thank you, the bearded plant dude. Thank you. Thank you, my friend. All right, give these guys a little bit of biochar, that living biochar that we've been talking about. If you've not been here before, it is a phenomenal product to pick up and put in. Those microbes work wonders on these guys. Like I said, this is a part of a 40-foot vine from just 2 pothos here in the greenhouse. Indirect view of the sky, 25% dry in the summer, 50% dry in the winter. Now you're like, okay, plant lady, how do you remember all this stuff? Use that masking tape you've got laying around. Everybody seems to have a roll in their house. All right, put on an SW, 25 and 50, and put ID off to the side. Now I just ripped this off and I put it on the side of my pot. I can throw it inside of a decorative pot. No one will see it but me. And when I pick it up to check it, all my directions are right there on the side of the pot. How easy peasy is that? Slap that bad boy on there, throw her in a decorative pot. I don't think I've got one sitting here, and you won't see it. It's gone, all right? Put whatever other directions you want to on there. Maybe you added biochar, write biochar on there. Because when you add biochar to your plants and it's got living microbes in it, like the ones from Third Eye Organics, you do not want to use neem oil on it. It will unalive those working parts of the living biochar, all right? Things to know as you go. I'm glad. Hopefully the person who asked about pothos got all the information and can now successfully grow one. All right, these guys are great for if you're wanting to get into propagations. Good morning, Jeanette. How are you? When you see these nodes right here or these little roots, cut it off right here and cut it right there. Take this part, put it in water. Keep the leaf out of the water if you can. All right, so it's gonna look something like this. All right, look at all those roots growing down there. All of this water has great hormones in it. I can use on other plants to help increase their roots from growing, all right, to help them grow faster. It's better than buying another product, all right? If you already have biochar in your home, you can add it to your propagations as well, all right? But if you want to kind of go with what you have, maybe you don't have biochar, you don't want to use it for that because money don't grow on trees, go ahead and use a pothos, all right? How often should you add biochar? You can use it quite often, actually, like every time you're changing out the soil, repotting. If you're just doing a little top dressing, you can sprinkle it on there. Sprinkle it on there if you have a problem. A lot of times that will help eliminate your problem faster, such as pests, root rot, that kind of stuff. That will help with it, all right? Same with the bugnetics. You can use it often. How often should that water be replaced? Never. Never replace your water. Just top it off, all right? You want to leave those hormones in the water that the plant has already created and put down there. It will help the other stages that the plant is in, all right? So I've got several different cuttings in here. I just keep adding them as I cut plants and so on and so forth. And, it'll help everybody out. Just keep it topped off so all of those roots are in water, all right? How often should you repot? My suggestion is only repot your plants when they say they need a repot. Now, they're not going to wake you up in the middle of the night and go, excuse me, plant lady, I need a repot, but they're going to show you. they're gonna have roots coming out the bottom, they're gonna have roots circling the top. That's when you wanna repot them, when they've outgrown their home, okay? Second question. Let me see, I'm trying to see the whole thing. Best tips for keeping string of plants. I have turtles and, daggone it, dolphins. All right, so a couple of things. First, if you guys are asking questions down in the chat, I love you for it. But can you please do me a favor? Make sure you're following me, and if you can, grab that daily heart me, okay? If you've got one coin, toss it out, all right? That lets my mods know that you're a person versus a bot, and we have a lot of bots in the room, all right? So that just helps us eliminate those things. Some of my mods can see that you're following, some cannot, so the heart will definitely help them with that challenge, okay? And with 100 people in the room, I'm bound to miss a comment or two. Please have patience with me. I will get to you, or a mod will get to you. All right, so the question on the table is string of those plants, all right? They are succulent-like, meaning you're gonna take your stick, go all the way to the bottom of the pot, pull it out, all right? 100% summer, 100% winter. Check your stick. If there's soil on it, don't water them. If there's no soil on it, water them, but bottom water them. They don't like their leaves getting wet, my friend. Thank you for throwing your first gift, Renee. Thank you. Thank you, friend. Make sure, a lot of people love to hang their string ofs in the window, but they hang them way up here. Now, if this is the top of my pot, is that top of the pot seeing any sun right now? Nope. Drop it down, drop it down, drop it low, so the top of the pot can see sun. They want a wide view of the sky, my friends. Now the growth might be in your way or something else, maybe shorten your macrame, find a different spot for it, whatever it is. But that top of the pot needs to see sun. That's where you're gonna see the unaliving happen. That's where you're gonna see the George Costanza comb over going on up there. You know, it's gonna start the balding patterns. Give it sun, growth will come. It is a slow grower. Be patient with her, all right? Very patient with her, all right? Hopefully that answered all of your questions on the string of, all right? If you are looking to pick up a plant or two, thank you, Sharon, for your daily. I appreciate you, my friend. You can go right over here and check out all of the plants that I'm talking about today. All of them are available over there. I do have a TikTok shop. You can go up to my profile, click on the picture again. It will say shop underneath my name, and click right there, and you can see the items in the shop as well, all right? That is getting renovated, so what you see today might not be there tomorrow, or something new might get added later. I am a one-person show, so it's all me to do all this stuff. So bear with me, but if there's something you're looking for and want me to put it somewhere for you, send me a DM and I will be happy to answer your questions. Be mindful though, again, I am one person. I get off of here after 2 hours of talking and I have 100 messages, literally. So it takes me time to go through them, all right? Thank you, William, for your heart me. I appreciate you, my friend. Thank you all for your heart me's. April, J-Late, Adele, Maria, Lynn, Grammy, Marty, Xavier, welcome in, friend. Your daily, your fairy plant godmother, Nana Bear, Sherry Brown, Unbothered, Trix, Gigi, Angela, Charlene, thank you all for your dailies. Jeanette, thank you for your daily. William, thank you, thank you. The Purple Butterfly, thank you, friend. Thank you all for your dailies. Olive trees, indoor tips. Okay, so those all of a sudden have become a huge seller, and I don't know why. I don't know what has spurred it. I'm not seeing anything on the interwebs to spur the interest in olive trees, but I'm cool with it. I have them available. All right, so the thicker the trunk, the less you have to water, first and foremost. They like an indirect view of the sky. Think of them, you know, they're not the ones that are gonna like claim the top of the canopy. They're the ones that are gonna stay kind of demure in in the tree world. All right, Planty Christy, welcome in. You're gonna start out watering them at the 50% dry. That stem is, or that trunk is very, very thick, and it will pull up that water and keep water storage for it. So 50% in the summer, 75% in the winter. That goes for your money trees too, 50 and 75%. Now, beneficials are going to be very, very important when it comes to those olive trees. Make sure you are using some living biochar on them things. And, ooh, Sarah, that's a good one. That's a good one. Oops, I don't know what I just did, but if I sent you something, ignore it. Sorry, I think it was you, Third Eye. Just hit ignore, hit decline. I didn't mean to. God, stop touching buttons. I really do. So I'm going to finish the olive tree, and then I'm going to get to the snake plant, okay? So hopefully that helps you out with your olive tree. If the leaves start falling, it's not getting enough light, usually is your culprit. Push it a little closer to a window, or check and see if you have a draft, all right? Same thing with your money tree. But be mindful, neither one of those trees, the olive tree or the money tree, like to be moved a whole lot. They're kind of like, let me live where I'm living as long as I'm thriving, leave me alone. It's just kind of the way they are. So try that, all right? Let me know if that works for you, if you understand it all, or if you have any questions. All right, snake plant got mushy in the center. Know why? Yeah, I hate to say it, my friend, but did you check it before you watered it? Because it sounds like you have overwatered it, and now it has root rot. All right, so when it comes to snake plants, funny you should ask, I'm making content on this as we speak. So when it comes to a snake plant, J-Light, can you do me a favor? Mark 902 for me. I'll know what it means. Just mark it for me in a DM. That would be great. All right, so take your stick, push it into your snake plant. Put it all the way down to the bottom, all right? Pull it out. If you see soil on there, like you see down there, that is meaning it's got plenty of moisture down here. We're not watering it. Now, if you look at the top, that looks really dry, does it not? Most people would touch it and be like, oh, I need to water it. No, my friends. These guys are very succulent-like, a lot like the string ofs or your aloe plants, all right? 100% dry on your stick, summer or winter, all right? Let them dry out. These guys have thick leaves. This is water storage, all right? Also, if your snake plant is putting up pups and you have little babies growing all around, that's a sign of a very happy, healthy plant. Don't move those babies though just yet. Wait until they are half the size of the mother plant and then move them out, all right? And their root structure is kind of tubular, meaning it's not vines that are keeping them together. It's more of like a tube that runs from this plant to this plant. It'll be thick like this, a thick root that goes across the umbilical cord, if you will. You're gonna snap that in half and move them over. They will have their own roots if you let them get to half the height, all right? So let's see, we've talked about Alocasia Pollys. We've talked about olive trees and money trees together. We've talked about pothos. We've talked about snake plants. Whole house needs plants. Girl, top 3 breeds only that are easy. All right, Wendy, I'm gonna tell you this. Get the plants that excite you. Don't get the plants that some person on the interwebs says is easy, because it won't be easy for you and you'll feel defeated if you unalive it. Get the ones that excite you, or get the ones that if you sit in here, you got 250, keep going, friend. I got 600. Come on, come join me in the 600 club. All right, get the ones that excite you, or if you're sitting in here, all right, can you separate a snake Yes, you can. But they like to be root bound. All right, so they like to be in crowded situations. But I'm gonna go back to, I see your question there, Sherry. I see it. I will come back to you. I will circle back. But I want to go back to the question of what plants do I recommend? Get the ones you have knowledge on. All right. You like funky shapes and colors. You're an artist. You probably will like this guy. All right. This is an Alocasia Polly. All right. Third eye, you have a great day, my friend. All right. Get the plants that you're interested in. All right, those are the ones you're going to want to learn about and you're going to put energy into. See, do I not know you or what, Wendy? All right, so get the ones that excite you. All right, another word of caution. Don't think that a 2-inch pot is going to be the thing because it's a 2-inch pot. They're actually harder. All right, think 4 at minimum and move on up. All right, move on up in size. Yes, the price goes up the bigger the pot, but the 2-inch ones are very, very hard to take care of, especially if you are in a high temperature area in the south. All right, they're gonna dry out so much that you are probably gonna have to like just sit over it and go, all right, you're dry, give you water, and 10 minutes later, all right, you're dry, give you water. It's a lot. All right, this is an Alocasia Polly that is here on the screen now. All right, so that is my word of advice. Get the plants that excite you. Sit in on my lives. I'm here 6 days a week. I start at 8 a.m. Sunday through Friday. Saturdays I do pop-ups. They're not scheduled. So if my day allows, I come in on Saturdays. If it doesn't, you guys don't miss me because I'm not scheduled. Maybe you do miss me, but you know what I'm saying. All right, so do that. Sit in on some of these. You're bound to see a plant or two that you're like, I like that, and I now have the knowledge on how to take care of that plant, and you can go and confidently start down the plant parent path. All right, other thing you can do if you are new, Annabelle, welcome in, is you can pick up my ebook. It is 70 plus pages of planting knowledge. It is written for beginner plant parents. All right, pick that up. It is over here. And if you go to the hamburger menu up on the left hand side and hit shop all, mama, thank you for your daily, my friends, and hit shop all, you'll see digital products there. All right, and you can pick that up. It's an instant download. Once you purchase it, you will have it. You can print it off and do all the things with it. I know some people put them in sheet protectors because there is charts in there, and you can wipe it off after the week and start all over. It helps you stay organized and just helps you get in a routine with your plants. All right, lots of great advice there, more than I can go to here. I like small growing plants. Any suggestions? String ofs would be my suggestion. Going back to the grow light suggestion for Sherry. If you're looking for grow lights, let me caution you. Thank you, Wendy. I am here to please all of you. I want to be here for the plant care advice. I know I could make a ton of money if I did plant sales. All right. This is an Alocasia Polly that is right here. All right. That's what we have in front of us today. I could probably make all the money my husband wants me to make selling plants if I got on here and I did plant sales. But I feel that there is a gap in content here on TikTok in lives in plant care. So that's what I do for 2 hours is I give you plant care. What does it mean if the plant hasn't grown much in the last 6 months but it's still alive? Come right back to that, all right? We're going to talk about those grow lights. Please don't buy the very cheap 99-cent grow lights, all right? You guys get what you pay for. They're using cheap materials and all the things. If you pick up a grow light, or if you already have grow lights, may I suggest probably the one and only tool that I recommend that you have in your arsenal when it comes to grow lights, all right? And that is what's in the bag. Y'all want to know what's in the bag? It's this. It is a plant meter, all right? Or not a plant meter, a light meter. Good Lord. A light meter, all right? When you have a light meter, you turn it on, you're going to want to see the FC on there. you're gonna put it right up to your grow light. All right, and it's gonna start jumping numbers, and that's what it's supposed to do. You wanna mark, like on the 1st of every month, what the average you see on those numbers is, all right? Because they are gonna start decreasing in efficiency over time. But if you don't know what that baseline is, you don't know when it's becoming less efficient until your plants start unaliving themselves. Some plants are gonna be very expensive that you have underneath that grow light. I'd rather replace that grow light before I need to replace the plant. That's one of my biggest tips, all right? If you live in a home that you don't get a whole lot of light, now if you are testing the light to see how efficient it is, you're putting it right up to the light, all right? Number one. If you're testing what this plant is getting from that light, because your light should be 12 to 24 inches off the top of the plant, all right? You're gonna set the meter right on the leaf, and you're gonna watch those numbers, all right? I realize it's backwards for you guys, but you guys are smart. You guys can figure it out, all right? So it's like 173, 174, so foot candles, all right? These guys are indirect view of the sky. They need 251 to 999 foot candles. So that means I need to move this closer or lower it down to get that reading, all right? That's how those work. Highly recommend them. They're like 30, 40 bucks. A lot of times you guys are spending $70, $80 or more on plants. A $30, $40 light meter could save you lots of money, all right? If I can find a supplier and I can get them in my shop, they will be there, but currently they're not, all right? So go over to the A store and pick you up a light meter, all right? Make sure it reads in foot candles, all right? Very important. Anybody else have questions about the Alocasia Polly? Before we move on to another plant, I answer more questions. If you guys are asking questions down in the chat, please make sure you're following the host. The mods are instructed to pin if you have the orange heart next to your name, all right? So I'm less likely to miss your comments. Yes, I sell plants. I sell plants over here, flourishplantcare.com. All right, you guys know how to finish that off. And you can get them there, or you can go over to my profile here, click on the picture once, click on the picture twice, and you'll see shop, all right? There are some plants there. I am revamping my TikTok shop, so product is kind of moving in and out and that kind of stuff, but you can get it there as well, all right? All right. Let me see who's next here. I gotta catch up in some comments. So think about it this way. If you have, I saw someone ask a question, do I like string of pearls? Yeah, they're all right. Best plant to grow out of a fish tank? Any plant. Any plant. That's my answer for that one. I have bamboo, I have pothos, I have sigoniums, I mean, you can pretty much grow anything out of a fish tank. Not a cactus, for obvious reasons. But yeah, pretty much anything. Shoot, somebody asked a question, I was gonna answer it, and I started, and I got sidetracked. It happens all the time here. Let's see if I can find it. Hang on, you guys. I'm trying to find it here. Oh, someone said, you know, they have a plant and it hasn't like really grown much. Usually, if you don't see growth in like 6 to 8 months, you're not going to see growth usually this time of the year. Most plants kind of slow down in their growth process. They become a little more dormant, like totally natural. But if you haven't changed out that soil in 2 years, it might be time for a soil change, and do that in the spring. So put it on your calendar. When we spring forward on the clock, go ahead and start your repots, all right? That's what you want to do there. If you pour water and it just kind of seems to sit on top of the soil, many of you have asked about that, take your stick, aerate the soil, go all the way around, all the way to the bottom. All right, that will help get some air in there, and water will be able to go into those holes and start to rehydrate your soil. All right, that will definitely help. Nerve plants, great for aquariums, great for high humidity areas. They are going to need an indirect view of the sky. Think of them, they're on the bottom of the forest floor. They're very small plants, and they like to be very wet. They're a thirst trap, my friend. So it's like 0% dry in the summer, which means touch the top of the soil. If it's not wet, water it. And in the winter, 25% dry. Allow it to dry out just a little bit more. It's getting a lot less light. What kind of dirt do you recommend? Our dirt gets hard. All right, so majority of my 600 plants are planted in or potted in the Miracle kind of potting soil. Potting soil, not container soil, not outdoor or what's that other one? Garden soil. You want potting soil, all right? Or if you're a fan of Third Eye Organics, grab his potting soil. It's got microbes and worm castings and all the organic things in it. Now, when I use the Miracle kind, I am adding to it. If you pick up the ebook that I have, there's a section in there with a chart that tells you not only about pests, but about soil and the things that you can add to your soil and why you're adding it if you're trying to get certain things, right? There's a whole chart, see? A whole chart on tropical houseplant soil mix guide. All right, so if you're starting with that Miracle as your base, you know, you can go through there. Yes, even in Arizona, because you have still the same amount of light as we do anywhere else in the US, it's the hours of daylight that we're looking at. All right, so yeah, wait, even if you're in Arizona, you guys still can get chilly nights too. So it's not the temperatures, it's the amount of sunlight. All right, even grow lights are not equivalent. 1 hour under a grow light does not equal 1 hour of sunlight. It equals more like 15 to 30 minutes of a natural sunlight under a grow light. So think about those types of things, okay? But great question, Adele. Great question. I want to thank my mods who are rocking it out in the chat today and pinning your comments. Make sure you love on my mods. We have Jill in the house today. We have J-Light in the house today. Oh, and we have Abby's Plant Corner all here doing the thing. Thank you, ladies. Very hard to have outside plants there. I'm sure in Arizona it is very difficult. You're going to be looking for those more desert-ish type plants or finding a shaded area and putting plants in that shade. So yes, so think about those types of things. The plants in your home that need a wide view of the sky, when you put them outside, put them in the shade, all right? They can't handle the direct rays. Your windows are filtering some of those rays and it's making the light softer for your plants. They have to build tolerance to the direct rays. So just be mindful of that. Let me get a drink of water, y'all. All right, so some of you guys have been here. I don't even know if you guys know who I am. My name is Sarah Lynn, and I own, sole owner of Flourish Plant Care. I come on here 6 days a week, Sunday through Friday at 8 a.m. Eastern, and give you plant care tips, all right? And we have a super fan club. My super fans that are in the room, raise your hand. Ask any of them questions about the Superfan program, and they are happy to answer it. They knew when they signed up for the Superfan they were going to have to be my ambassadors down in the chat for the program. They will tell you your favorite things. They will also tell you the goals we're working on. Just say super down in the chat, and a Superfan will at you and tell you and ask, you know, what questions you have and help you out with that. So that we can focus on the plant care tips here, but I will tell you, it is worth every penny you spend on the Superfan program. I'll pin it down here so you guys can read it and look at it. Your name also goes up on the board back here in black. Those are all Superfans. The ones in red over here, except for the one black one over here, they're all level 20s or higher here in the room. They are high engaging people. They are flourishing fan club members who are moving on up the chain here. All right, can't pin comments, ladies, just so you know, mods, when something is pinned at the bottom. All right, just so you know, you can't pin it, so you'll have to repin whatever it was that you tried to pin again. All right, let's see, any tips on water and light for fiddle leaf figs? Sure. That would be, let me grab one, hold on. Ooh, we've got some blooms going on over there. All right, I digress, I get sidetracked. So here is a cutting off of my 7-foot fiddle leaf fig. It is a middle cutting. You can see right here, there was a cutting above it, and obviously there was cut at the bottom because that's how it's rooted. All right, turn off. I just noticed my light meter was on. I'm like, no, turn off. All right, there we go, cool. So this is the original leaf that was on the original plant when I cut it off. All of this is brand new growth since it was rooted. When you cut them to root them, use perlite and water. Whole different show for that, but that helps if you're in that realm. They need wide view of the sky, but not slam up in the window, okay? They burn too easy. Kind of back them up so they still see a wide view, but they're not like, whoop. They don't want to be the star. They just kind of want to be admired from afar. All right. These leaves are great solar panels. They are also great dust collectors. So get your microfiber cloths out and dust them off regularly. I love to do my dusting on my plants when I'm talking on the phone and I don't need to be taking notes or that kind of thing. Or if I'm on a TikTok, I will put my tapper on and I will start rubbing the tops and the bottoms of my leaves and get all that dust off. The more dust you get off of your plant, the better the solar power is, all right, for these guys. All right, so does that help you out? Wide view of the sky, but not slam up in the window for that. And you are going to water them at 50% in the summer, 75% in the winter. This is water storage. It's thick, all right? These are pretty thick as well. So it's all water storage, all right? The more leaves, the more water storage you have. But that doesn't change your percentage, all right? Be also very mindful if you have a fiddle leaf fig. They're highly toxic, not only to your pets, but they can be very toxic to you as well if you are super sensitive. Use gloves if you're cutting them, or if you see sap on them, make sure you're washing your hands. That sap, for some people who have super sensitive skin, can burn your skin. Can actually cause like little burn blisters. So be mindful of that, okay? And just be cautious that if you're working with your plant and you've cut some leaves off or something like that, don't go and then touch your pets, all right? I'm not super sensitive to these guys, but I am still mindful because I do have 4-legged babies, that if I get the sap on my hands, I'm washing my hands before I touch my pet, just because it can burn their skin very, very quickly. All right, did that answer all of your questions about the fiddle leaf fig? Let me know down in the chat. If you've been here for a minute or two and had a couple plants come up here with some plant care tips, let me know what you learned today that you didn't know before coming in. I'm happy. I love to know what you guys find interesting or find that's new. It helps me out. Great. Purple butterfly, happy to help, my friend. Yes, J-Light's down there rocking the stickers. What does it mean when your pothos are getting a pink tint to them on some of the leaves. A pink tint? Are you sure it's a pothos and not a philodendron? So this is a pothos. All right. If you notice, there's like no, I don't know what, oh, my book fell. You'll notice there's no sheathing here. All right. Remember what this looks like right here. This is where we're looking, right down in here. All right. Your philodendrons. Your philodendrons. Goodness gracious. All right, let's stay like that. Philodendrons are going to have sheathing. All right. And you see this like little fleck right here? That's sheathing. All right. That's how you tell the difference between the two. So this happens to be a pink princess philodendron, and that's why I asked, are you sure it's a pothos? Because they have pink tints to them. I don't think I've ever heard of a pothos getting a pink tint. Could be wrong. Could be something I just haven't come across with 600 plants. But a lot of times it's just the wrong ID. Plant care is the same regardless. 25% in the summer, 50% in the winter. Indirect view for not only a pothos, but philodendrons too. All right. Should I be, oops, missed it. All right, hang on. Should I be concerned with some down-facing leaves on the fiddle, assuming it needs water? Usually that's lighting. It's going down because it can't get the lighting. It's getting the lighting down there. So might have to back it up from the window. Something might be blocking it. Get down to the leaf level. Take a look. Have a look at things, okay? Want to use when plant have black and white disease on the stem and leaves. Sounds like you got a fungal issue. You're going to need to get some fungicide for your plant. Definitely recommend getting some 3-in-1 beneficials for your soil that will help get the balance right in your soil, like the pHs and acidities and all that kind of stuff like that. If you want a really good 3-in-1 beneficials, go ahead and hit up Third Eye Organics, all right? Is it okay to spray your plants with water daily? Hey, Leanne, thank you for your daily, my friend. I appreciate you. All right, so is it okay to spray your plants daily? Here's my question for you. Why would you want to spray your plants daily? They need to dry. They need to dry out or you're going to create root rot, number one. Number two, are you spraying your plants, misting your plants because it brings you joy? That's fine, but you're really not doing anything beneficial for the plant, all right? If you're trying to up the humidity will only be upped until that bead of water disappears. That's it. That's all there is. Yes, this is a new leaf unfurling right here. There's actually two. Let me see if I move them over here if you can see them both. So here's one, here's the second. So, and here's a third one that has completely emerged, just hasn't opened yet. I do not pry them open. I let them go on their own. They will do what they need to do as they need to do it. I'm very for letting nature run its course and having patience. It is a virtue. It is kind of required when you are dealing with plants, all right? A lot of times you're going to look away from your plant and it's going to go crazy. And there are other times when you sit and watch it and it does nothing. So sometimes ignoring is good. You see the growth. It's kind of like watching a pot boil. It doesn't seem to boil, all right? My big leaf is very tall and about to reach ceiling. Should I prune it? Sure. You can prune it. You can prune it, my friend. Easy peasy. How do I keep those annoying stink bugs off my plants? We have them bad in Mississippi this year. Stink bugs, or are you talking fungus gnats? Make sure you guys are liking, following up here. Grab that follow and go ahead and grab that orange daily as well. My mods are looking for the orange heart next to your name, okay? When they're going through your questions. All right? Keep that in mind, my friends. Stink bugs off of plants. They're really not doing any damage to your plant. A stink bug, they're just annoying. But if you're talking like actual pests on plants, like mealybugs, thrips, aphids, you know, those types of things, that's a little different. So yes, all right. Advice on anthuriums. What kind of advice are you looking for there, Sarah Ross? Are you looking for light care? Are you give me a little more? Are you looking for a particular type of anthurium? Let me know. How do I keep my rubber tree leaves from falling off? More light, more light, more light. All right. Will the fig leaf grow roots off pruned if they have a node? You've got to cut it so that they have a node. I just showed you the fiddle leaf fig I have, and they've got to have a notch in there, all right? Have you ever almost completely chopped a monstera? Yes, I have. Wait, all right, you guys can't pin on top of each other. All right, mods. I was gifted one, not sure how to take care of it, how much water and light. All right, anthuriums are going to be indirect view of the sky, 25% dry in the summer, 50% dry in the winter, and they might need a humidity tray. If you start seeing brown tips on it, start with a humidity tray and upping it a little bit, okay? Note to moderators. If there's a pin up here already, you can't pin on top of it, or I can't see it. You override each other, all right? So just so you know, I'm trying to answer all the questions you guys are pinning, but if you pin too fast, I can't read them and I can't answer them. All right, but thank you. I love all of you. I appreciate you all. All right, make sure that we're pinning people who have hearts next to their name too, okay? Sarah, does that make sense to you? Does that help you out? Let me know. Lachelle, welcome in, my friend. Thank you for your daily. I appreciate you. Great. Glad to help. All right, so the plant we have in front right now is the pink princess philodendron. They do get little pink spots on their leaves, and that will vary. Now, this is a variegated plant, so the more pink on the leaf, the more you need to move it closer, because this pink is actually an energy vampire. All right, green is what photosynthesizes. This pink part just takes the energy away. All right, for those of you who have variegated plants, doesn't matter if it's pink or it's white or whatever the variegation is, you can get several leaves that will have no variegation. That's normal. Some plants, you can look at the stemming on them and you will see like a white line in the stem. That means there's variegation still in that DNA, and it will put out a white leaf or parts of white on a leaf at some point. It may not be that one, but as long as you see that in the vein, you can still get that variegation. I'm trying to think of one that I have here in the greenhouse. I have several. I'm just trying to think where they are. That will show you that pinstriping, so to speak, that occurs on the variegated plants. I think they're on the other side of the greenhouse, so I'm not going to run over there and grab that. So that should help you out if you're wondering if your variegated plant will be variegated again. If it did it once, it can do it again. It just may take time. All right, so keep that in mind, my friend. All right, hopefully that helps you out. Hopefully I've answered everybody's questions. I appreciate you all coming in today and loving up on each other. We've made 74 new plant besties today. That's amazing. We've talked about so many plants today that we usually don't get to, and I love that about the lives. So come back anytime you can. We're here at 8 a.m. Eastern. We usually stay on till about 10-ish Eastern. All right. If you are liking what you hear, I hope you'll come back. If you're wanting more and need it at a slower pace, I recommend grabbing the ebook that I just dropped on the floor that you can pick up. It is 70 plus pages. It is worth every penny that you get and then more. But you can get it over here. All right. My company's name is Flourish Plant Care, and it's flourish like a fleur-de-lis. All right. So it's FLE. It's in the hamburger menu, shop all digital products. All right. And it's an instant download once you purchase it. All right. It'll come to you in an email right after it clears your payment. All right. Can you use neem oil without mixing water to clean leaves? Sure, you can, but I don't know why. Neem oil is perfect as it is, and it is a preventative to pests. It is not something you can use by itself a lot of times to eliminate pests. It can help deter them, and it can help knock your infestation down, but it will not get rid of them completely. All right, it is to be used as a preventative, but I don't wipe my leaves down with anything but a microfiber cloth in my hand. No chemicals on it whatsoever. I want that natural shine from the leaf to come out and not be stripped away by that neem oil. All right, no one's walking around the Amazon rainforest spraying neem oil on the leaves to make them shine. They have that ability all on their own. Can Miracle Grow be used without mixing with water into the dirt? Can Miracle Grow, I'm missing something here. Can Miracle Grow be used without mixing with water into the dirt? I think you're gonna have to reword that for me, Tasteful Trends. Oh, the blue, are you talking the blue fertilizer? No, the blue crystals, yeah. Plant food. That's what I was thinking, but I was like, wait a minute. I want to make sure. Yeah, no, that has to be mixed in. You got to follow the directions on the package. All right. Follow those directions to a T when it comes to fertilizer, or you'll burn the roots. If you were to place that straight into the soil when it says you need to mix it with water, you will burn your roots. You'll cause irreversible damage. All right. But if you want to go more the organic route, I definitely recommend the Third Eye Organics products for fertilizer and things. I do have a fertilizer and a rooting agent that I have used in the past. I don't use it as much anymore over in my shop as well. I think it's even in the TikTok shop for you guys to pick up. If you are picking up plants this time of year, be mindful of your temperatures. If your temperatures are below 32 degrees, day or night, you want to kind of hold off. I'm going to pin those two for you guys, the organic soil and root boost and the organic plant food that I have available. You guys can pick that up. It's down there in the shopping bag for you guys. What can I do when I buy a new plant to prevent insect infestation? Jolia, do me a favor. Give me a follow real fast. All right. Give me a follow, my friend. And then I'll come back to your question. Thank you so much for that. All right. So if you have a new plant, you want to isolate it for 2 weeks. 2 weeks away from all your other plants. Plant another room completely, okay? Give it a wide view of the sky, regardless of what type of plant it is. You're trying to get him all the things that they need that they weren't getting wherever they were. Especially if you buy from a big box store. When you buy from a big box store, think about it this way, all right? It was in a beautiful nursery, you know, or wherever the plant came from, all right? And it had someone who knew what they were doing with plants, all right? Then it got put in a box, and it got shipped. Then it came out of the box, and then it sat underneath fluorescent lights, all right? And it got some schmo, and I'm not putting anybody down that works at any of the big box stores, but I'm just saying 9 times out of 10, they hire people who have no plant care experience to work in their department. All right, and they just spray the plant, they hose it down, they overwater it. Might not get any light at all. It might be underneath other plants. It may have sat in the box for 4 days. Once it arrived in the store, it may have a cold draft next to a door that's constantly opening. It gets a little abused. So when you take it home, and you're gonna love on it because you've chosen this plant to be a part of your home now, you are going to put it in a wide view of the sky. Let it collect all that sun, let it de-stress underneath the sunlight, all right, for 2 weeks. In that 2-week period, you're probably going to be very excited. So you're gonna be looking it over, checking it out, maybe dusting it off. You can take that neem oil to it if you want. That'll help. If there are any pests, you'll start getting rid of them, you know, or preventing them from taking over your plant. All of those things for 2 weeks. Now, if all looks good in 2 weeks, you can introduce them to the rest of the family. All right. Until then, be excited. Keep them cautious. It's like a newborn baby. You want to keep all the sickies away, but in this case, they are usually the sickies coming into your home. All right, we don't want them spreading all of their little pests that they have picked up from transit, from stores, from people, from all the things to your plants. All right, allow it to adjust. It's got to adjust to the light in your home, the humidity in your home, and all the things. Check to see if it needs watering. Is it overwatered? Let her dry out really good. Get it down to where it needs to be, whether it be 25 or 50%, 75 or 100. All right, you're going to quarantine it in wide views of the sky. All right, and just start loving on it little by little. All right, allowing it to adjust to your home. You can give a plant to your neighbor. All right, and you'll say, I noticed I'm watering. 9 times out of 10, this is what people do. They get a plant and they say, I water it every 3 to 4 days. Yep, works great in your home, but you know what? Your neighbor's home has like 0 humidity in it. So now they're watering more than that, or they have higher humidity than you, and now they're watering every 3 to 4 days. They've overwatered it, and now what's happened? It's unalived itself. All right, so that's why I say check it before you water it. Don't follow a schedule. Follow the schedule of the plant. Jola, thank you for that hand heart. I appreciate you, my friend. All right. Mods, what other questions have you guys seen down there that we need to pin and answer? Hey, Jackie, thank you for your daily, my friend. You guys are doing awesome, moderators. I appreciate you guys. Thank you, everybody who's come in and grabbed your daily. April, J-Light, Jolia, Maria, Lynn, Xavier, Charlene, Nana, Sarah Ross, Sherry Brown, the Purple Butterfly, Leanne, Lachelle, Angela, Jackie, Alicia. Renee is a new gifter. Welcome, friend. Welcome. Garden of Faith, I see you down there. Shayna's Plants, I see you. Let's see. I think that's everybody that's given their daily heart me. So thank you. I appreciate you all for doing that. If you don't know what a daily heart me is, say heart down in the chat. I can either explain it or one of my mods can explain it to you as well. Let me know if you got questions down in the chat. You guys have been doing awesome. We are going to be wrapping up for this day in about 20 minutes or so. So you get 20 more minutes of planty advice. Take it while you can, my friends. We're working on this goal right here. We want to get all 20 before we end today's live. That's very important. And we're working to get to 35 super fans. We have a super fan live in just 4 days, my friends. So mark your calendars if you're a super fan. Can I use Dawn and alcohol mix to unalive spider mites? Dawn and alcohol? No, I wouldn't. I wouldn't use those two in conjunction with each other when it comes to spider mites. I'm going to grab my book so you guys can hear and see what's exactly in it. So in the ebook, all right, Amy, thank you for your heart me, my friend, is a whole chart on all the different types of pests, how you can tell that is the pest. Very important to make sure you're IDing the pest correctly, okay? Safe solutions, if you can use Dawn dish soap or not, and the beneficial bugs you can use as well, or you can get the Bugnetics from Third Eye Organics, if you don't want to do beneficial bugs, all right? So with spider mites, you want to make sure that it is the fine webbing, not your house spiders, all right? And they'll have speckled leaves. They look fuzzy, but when you touch it, it's not fuzzy, all right? And you're gonna rinse those leaves off, put them in the shower, hose that baby down. Give it the full jungle experience. If you really want to give your plant the jungle experience, even when it is not infested with a plant, flip the light on and off and do monkey sounds. Have fun with it, you guys. Your partner or your children will think you've absolutely lost your mind. Yes. Let's see. Here's my thing with the planty people that are on all the different platforms, okay? If you're new to being a plant parent and you want good plant parent advice, one, follow someone who proves that they have plants, all right? That's number one. I got 600 receipts. I can prove that I am good with plants, all right? Of course, there are some that don't do well, and of course, there are some that cause issues, but that's with everybody, okay? Two, take advice from only one, no more than two plant people, all right? You won't be confused as to what to do with your plant. Your plant won't be confused as to what you're trying to do, all right? Some people will say, water every 3 to 4 days. And if you water every 3 to 4 days, and then you get someone like me who says, check it before you water it, only water when they need it, your plant will be confused. They'll be like, wait a minute, am I getting it every 3 or 4 days? I don't need it every 3 or 4 days, but I've been getting it, and I've been trying to work with it and, you know, stay alive and on the struggle bus, and they don't know that I've got root rot because they're not checking and they're overwatering. Or, you know, you go the other way. You've been checking it and now you're just watering because it feels light, and your definition of light is different than the last person's definition of light. So find 2 people at most. And if it's mom and grandma is your first person, make that, if they're 2 people, don't count that as your 2, count them as 1. Usually what grandma knew, she told mom, mom's telling you, so it's all the same advice, all right? 2, when you're following people online and they're just a keyboard warrior, you don't know if it's a true person or if it's an AI or if it's just someone who wants to see other people not succeed, all right? I'm here 6 days a week, 2 hours a day, putting in the time, putting in all the things. This is my business, not just TikTok. Plants are my business, all right? So please be mindful in where you're getting your plant advice. And if you haven't tried the plant advice, don't pass it on. Try it for yourself. See if it works, all right? If it doesn't work, why would you want to give someone bad advice? All right, start there. That's my word of caution when it comes to all these influencers. Now, if that means you will never come in my greenhouse again, so be it. I am not everybody's potted plant, all right? To keep it on that level, all right? But if you find that you like the vibe here, you find you like the way I break down the tips and the tricks on how to take care of your plants, come on back. Tell your friends. We would love to have you, all right? I'm not putting anybody down. I'm not judging anybody. I'm just saying that is my word of advice and my word of caution, because when I was a new plant parent, I followed everybody under the sun. All of some plants did really great because I applied this plant advice, and then some did this, and then I got confused one time and I gave the one advice to the one plant, and things started unaliving themselves. I went very quickly from 5 plants is what I started with. Blinked twice and I had 200. I blinked again, I had 350. Then I started following somebody else and I changed half of the room to one plant person's advice. I lost them all. Lost every single one of them. Do what works for you. Do what works for your lifestyle, all right? Don't confuse yourself. Don't overcomplicate this. Plants are supposed to bring you joy, not more stress, all right? Sometimes when we stress, they stress. They feed off of you, all right? So be mindful of the vibe that you not only can give, the vibe that you can get, okay? I get a lot of people who say they like the vibe in here. If you're one of those people, say me down in the chat, all right? Let's get the chat rolling. I've been on a soapbox for a hot minute. Jamie, thank you so much for the rose. I'll put it in my rose garden and I will not make you weed them, okay? I try very hard to get everybody's questions. I realize sometimes we hit over 100 people in the room and it's very, very hard to capture every question, all right? I have moderators. They are learning the ropes on how to be great moderators. I think they're doing fabulous and I applaud all of them. That is a volunteer thing. They do not get anything out of it. So have grace if you see someone who's getting impatient in the room and you guys have been here a hot minute. If you've been to more than 5 lives of mine and you see someone who's just kind of like losing their patience, help out the mods. They might be busy handling another problem behind the scenes that you aren't aware of. Garden of Faith, thank you for your daily. And hit the person and do at and tell them whatever it is they need, all right? As long as you are spewing forth the same thing I would spew forth, I'm cool with it, all right? Or maybe you just need to say, hey, give her grace. She'll get to you. Post your question again or tag a mod and say, hey, so-and-so needs help, all right? That's how you guys can help us grow and flourish in this room. And I appreciate each and every one of you coming in here, tapping on the screen, grabbing the follow, grabbing the daily heart me, helping out with whatever the goal is up here, whether it be cranes or the flash goal or whatever, filling that gift gallery. Those things all matter and I don't take them lightly. I appreciate them and I appreciate you all spending your time with me. I try to maximize what you get in the short period of time that you give me. Some of you I know will bounce in and out for 10 minutes and be gone. Some of you will stay the full 2 hours. I don't care how long you're here. I want to make sure you learn something each and every day that you come into the greenhouse, all right? Y'all get me, y'all feel me. Hope I am your planty of choice when it comes to the 2-legged variety. But if I'm not, I understand. I take a little bit sometimes to get used to. I understand that. Over on the content, you can find out where I'm going to be and plant shows that could be in your area. If you are getting the cabin fever, this is the time of year when plant shows start popping up. There are a bunch in Wyoming right now, Utah, North Carolina. They're all in January. Check that list. I'm trying to compile as many of them as possible, month by month, and putting them out there so you guys can find the ones that are near you, register, get your tickets or whatnot. I am not going to be a vendor at any of these events. I will be there as a guest, just like you guys. So if you should see me walking up and down the aisles, stop me, say hi. You guys know what I look like. I don't know what you guys look like, all right? You guys get to stare at me for 2 hours. I don't know if that's a blessing or a curse. So, how about, Maria, I don't know. what the, yeah, I'm lost on that one. Sorry. Shannon, enjoy your day. Welcome to the greenhouse. Thanks for stopping in, friend. Nana, thank you for liking the live. J-Light, thank you also. We are at 52,000 tippy taps on that screen. Thank you all so much. You guys are amazing. That's what you would do? Really? Oh, now I get it. Oh, I get it now. I apologize. My brain was somewhere else. I was like, what? Huh? Who? It's all right. Thank you all for coming in. I appreciate you guys. You guys, those of you who have been in the room more than a couple of lives, you heard me say that we're in a campaign for, it's okay. I get thrown off all the time. That we're in a campaign with the agency, and we started it out today at number 13. So the agency was putting in some work, and you know what? Over the course of this live today, we've risen to number 9, you guys. That's because of you guys. So good job, everybody. We can keep climbing. I don't know if we'll get to number 8. She's really far out there. But we can do it. How many of you, I know a lot of you come in here for the plant care advice, but as a live host, TikTok really wants us to do battles or matches or those types of things. How do you guys feel about doing them maybe twice a week? For like just one battle, it's 5 minutes. And I find a planty person, and we go not so much for us to win, we go to bless them with positive planty goodness. What do you guys think of that? Think about it, let it marinate. If you want to send me a DM and say, hey, I like that idea, or yep, or whatever, let me know, because I need to do something like that at least a minimum of twice a week is what I'm being told by the TikTok rules and regulations. All right, so everybody has to do them at some point in their journey. All right, and I'm at that point in my journey. I've seen battle, depends on who you're battling. So I'm going to be looking for like other planty people who are on at the same time as me. All right, and we're going to pretty much like bless them. And blessing in a battle can come in the form of tapping the screen, costs nothing, keeping the comments going, whether if that's just stickers being used, all counts. Sharing it out counts. Throwing roses counts. You know, those types of things. Not just roses, but anything down in that gift gallery. All right. So, but there are things that you don't have to affect your pocketbook with, and do them. That is so sweet. You have to be careful. Some interesting people pop in. Yes, they do. But I'm going to be popping in, so to speak. I'm going to be looking, because I can see who's online right now. Like if we were doing right now, I'm going to look and see who I can find that I know is planty. All things Brandy. She's been in our room before. She, you know, she would be one I would ask, hey, do you want to do this? Leanne is an artist. She's part of my agency. I know she, you know, I know her, and I'm not looking to get sassy. I'm not looking to blow it out of the water. I'm looking to give to other plant people and give you guys another person to maybe connect with. Or if you're finding I'm not your type of plant, then maybe they are. So yeah, so those types of things. All right, but they would have to be live at the same time I am. All right, so unless we were to do like afternoons or something like that and do it with that sole purpose, do a little plant care, do a battle, and then, you know, and end it. We'll just see. So I know who Pierre's Plants is, but I don't see them on at the same time I'm on. And that's how those work. They have to be on at the same time. All right. We're rooted in with you. Thank you, J-Light. I appreciate your positivity and support. So, the other day I told you all, that's cool. Yep. That's cool. The other day I mentioned that one of our plant OGs has not been in the greenhouse for a little bit. They're dealing with some medical things and they could use a little uplifting. I have not seen them or heard from them since they had a procedure done. Thank you, April, for those cranes, my friend. Thank you. But let's just keep the positive leafy vibes going their way. Hey, honestly, Carolyn, welcome in, friend. Welcome in. I'm not going to say who they are because I respect their privacy, but it is a OG from the greenhouse. So just lift them up or do whatever works for you and your beliefs. Send them positive vibes for a quick healing and a return back to the greenhouse, okay? So I had 3 plants that I was going to talk about today, and we only got to one of them. But we talked of a lot of other ones that I didn't have planned, but that's okay. It's all good. So thank you, Carolyn. How are you, friend? I love the hand hearts. Thank you. This one has been sitting underneath all of my Mardi Gras stuff, and it's got glitter all over it. It's driving me bananas to have that glitter everywhere. Thank you for the 2026s, my friend. Thank you, thank you. Someone gifted me a red Anderson anthurium. So this one is a first for me. So anthuriums are, again, that indirect view of the sky. 25% dry in the summer, 50% dry in the winter. They may need a humidity tray based on the humidity in your home. You might find you need it in the winter, not in the summer. Follow your plant. Learn the communication of the plant. Thank you for the repost. So think about that. This is a philodendron, all right? This is a pink princess philodendron. Plant care is pretty much the same for the whole family. So they are an indirect view of the sky. They are 25% dry, 50% in the winter. 25 in the summer, 50 in the winter. All right. That will definitely, philodendron and Anderson. Okay. There's a red Anderson, anthurium, and then I guess another company has come out and called their philodendron a red Anderson. Same plant care tips. 25% in the summer, 50 in the winter, and indirect view of the sky. Is there a type of plant that needs a humidity tray? There's certain families that probably would benefit from it, but it really depends on your home. If your humidity runs high, like in my greenhouse here, it runs high. I don't need a humidity tray, but if you were to take it home, you might need it there. So you kind of got to watch. Usually brown tips on the edge, usually, not all the time, usually is very indicative of needing humidity. All right. Plants that are thicker in their leaves. Hey V, how are you, my friend? Tend to sometimes need more humidity. So you just kind of got to learn. If you're like, okay, I'm giving it the right light, I'm watering when it's supposed to be, something still seems to be off. You can always try a humidity tray. It isn't going to hurt them to have more humidity than they need at all. They're just going to grow faster because they're getting that extra attention. It's like that extra little Debbie snack cake. You don't really need it, but you feel special when you get it, right? Some plants, like Xavier said, will shed their leaves when they're not getting enough humidity. They're like, wait, I need more. I can't hold on to this anymore. So keep those kinds of things in mind. No plant is a hard and fast rule, all right? Some plants, you're going to get some varieties that are like, look, she said 25 and 50. I'm more of a like 50, 75 kind of guy, you know, because your humidity's higher. it really just kind of depends. These are good rules to start with and to learn with, and then learn your plant. All right, Nola Strong, welcome in. We are headed back to Nola. We were just in Nola in December. We're headed back in March. We're looking forward to yet another trip, and we're bringing my daughter for her very first trip to New Orleans, and looking forward to her seeing it and watching her experience it the way I did. My husband said the first time I went to New Orleans, I walked around with my jaw on the ground. I was just in awe and in love with everything. Everything just hit my soul just right. I'm hoping I get that same reaction out of my daughter. I love it. So your plants do communicate. They get droopy leaves, they drop leaves, they turn black, they give off funny smells sometimes, they grow. All those things are ways that they communicate, all right? Yep, I love New Orleans. That's why I named my company Flourish. I just want to bring, I want that vibe all the time with me. I love the people of New Orleans. I love the culture. I love the food. It doesn't love me. Food allergies suck. But hey, that is frequently people's reactions. Yeah, it is. It is. So, welcome in, JJ Bright. How are you, friend? We have had a very busy live today. We covered a lot of ground today. This has been a very productive live. Those of you who've been here for a hot minute, is there anything you need me to go over? Another question you want to ask? Make sure you're following. Grab that heart me up there. We have 4 more cranes to knock this goal out of the park, or we start all over again tomorrow. We are going to be wrapping this bad boy up. We just hit the 2-hour mark. So I want to make sure that if anyone has any questions, they're getting them answered. I don't want to send you back into the TikTok streets. Thank you, April, my friend. Thank you. April, you spoil me beyond belief. Thank you, my friend. I appreciate you. I would love to have a hand grenade, but a lot of them put pineapple juice in them, and I can't have pineapples. Highly allergic, like anaphylactic. Take me out of here. Everybody, scoop up your points. We've knocked that goal out. I appreciate all of you. For all my super fans, we are getting ready for the Super Fan Live. It is just, what, 4 days away? We are going to do plant consultations, and we're going to do a scavenger hunt, so plan accordingly. Plant consultations will be first, and then once they are done, look at you reaching 22. Let me put that sticker down there so that you can use it. You're the first one that, since they've been doing these stickers, that we can put them down there. It is going to be Super Fan Lives are for super fans, people who will pick up that super fan. It is going to be on January 12th, 8 p.m. 8 p.m., not 8 a.m. We'll do our normal show in the morning, and then that night we'll come back for super fans. Scavenger hunt. I knew, Lynn, you were going to love it. Y'all look out. If Lynn's in the room, she is the scavenger hunt queen. So be ready for that. It's going to be, I don't know what kind of theme I'm going to do yet. I'm still kicking around some ideas for the scavenger hunt. I don't know if I'm going to do all planty or if I'm going to mix something in. I haven't decided. I'll figure it out. And then we're going to announce when the second Superfan Live of the month will be, because we hit the 30 mark. If we hit 35 before the 12th, not only will you get 2 Superfan Lives in January, you're going to get a special little something from me, and I'll figure out something else as well. All right, because we hit 25, you got the second Superfan. We hit 30, everyone's getting a little something from me. We hit 35, gosh, I don't know what I'll do. I'll give something away, I guess. I don't know. we'll figure it all out. I hope everyone has a great day. Thank you for being a part of today. We are sitting at 30 super fans right now. All right, so we're sitting at 30, sitting pretty at 30. But if we get to 35, everyone's gonna get everything. Even if you weren't at the 25, you're still eligible for the super fan. Even if you weren't here at the 30, you're still gonna get what everybody else got, because I'm gonna just give it all out at one time. So the faster we move up all of these, the more things you're gonna collect. You're gonna benefit from everybody else's work. But once I hand out the 30, those who didn't make it to help me get to 35, they're gonna get something different. They're not getting everybody else's stuff. Does that make sense? So that's why I'm saying the 12th is the cutoff to get to 35 to cash in on everything. All right. If you came in and you got us to the 30, you're gonna cash in from 35 on down. Hopefully that makes sense. Thank you all for coming in. Thank you for hanging out with me today. I hope you learned something today. I always love to hear what you guys learned down in the chat or in a DM, whichever works for you. Grab those engagement points up on top. Do not leave them behind. They will not wait for you in the greenhouse. So we'll see you all tomorrow. Stay healthy, stay safe, be kind to each other. Stay happy, my friends, and above all else, keep flourishing. Until then, be well. Bye-bye.